did too.
Mr. Gore?
Here.
Mr. Helmut is here, I'm not sure. Jason is here, I'm not sure where he went.
Yeah.
Approved July 26, 2022 agenda. Any additions or corrections? Make a motion. Motion and support. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. July 12, 2022 minutes. Did you want to look at those? Make a motion. Motion on the minutes. Support. Support. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All yes. Motion carried. The August schedule.
So here's where you shine.
All right, the proposed date for the August schedule is the 9th and the 23rd for regular meetings, and then the 26th and the 30th as the additional meetings for reading according to the EMS.
Okay, can I hear that again?
So it's the 9th and the 23rd, and then the 26th and the 30th for the additional readings for the EMS proposed.
Okay.
Are some of those dates also drainage meetings those days?
The 9th is, that's 1 o'clock at
Harris?
Harris.
Okay. Sounds good. I have a motion. Support. And support to approve the August schedule. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carried.
The drainage one.
The 26th, I'll be at ISAC, yes, finishes that day.
But you'll be here for the training. No?
I didn't play that one,
Thought I'd double check again.
Plans may have changed.
I didn't go for that either.
All right, discuss the new ambulance garage.
We had about that discussion.
Sure.
I can sit up here, but, yeah, what you're. So,
I would rather table that until our next meeting, because we've been visiting with the hospital, and there's been some discussion going on. Don't you think, table it?
The hospital,
Quite a bit.
You guys up?
We still need the space to the sheriff's department, so then we have to do something with it.
yeah, Dan needs space for his stuff to do.
you can get it from the
I
hospital.
really don't say it now. We're at the beginning stages. But Ben's gonna come talk to us, I think, on the 9th.
All right, whatever you guys trust, you guys need it.
Seems like that's all we do. Wait around.
Well, let's go. Let's go. Match what we've got.
Have you gotten any information, Sandy, for?
Well, we really haven't decided if we're gonna build, or I should say, what size,
Yeah.
dimensions,
We're gonna build that same actual we've got, same size.
size stalls.
Yeah.
But,
Could we,
you know, I can seek out contractors or whatever and get something in stone. Now, that's where the ambulance is gonna go, in those 5 stall garages, or that's where the sheriff's office is gonna go, stuff is gonna go. And I'm gonna stay in the old, am I gonna stay in the old garages, the old 5, or am I gonna go in the new 5?
That'd be up for discussion, yeah.
Didn't you discuss that at our last meeting up there, or?
I would say probably none of them.
I don't think it's, it depends on what's gonna cost us.
Yeah.
What are you guys' wishes, I guess? New,
All
old?
I wish for is just a couple heated stalls, that's all I need for my
You
stuff.
need it, you need it heated.
Oh, yeah, that pump can't sit out in the,
Can we move like the Sharon's car out of there and put it in?
That's what you discussed at the last.
Well, something probably won't get done before winter, I would guess, so that's probably gonna have to be a.
In my ideal situation would be, me and Sandy have this existing garage.
Right.
I just get the last 2 stalls to park my stuff in, and what you wanna do with everything else is completely up to you guys. That's all I ask for.
Could you get some prices,
I can,
size-wise, just like what you got?
yep.
And I'd like before winter, so I can get that pump in.
Well, I think that's probably a discussion that's,
We have to.
Are you thinking,
it's gotta go inside and, you know.
are you thinking like a Morton building, or are you thinking of a stick building, or?
I don't think right now makes a whole lot of
I
difference.
know a hell of a block later, we can have a block building, you know, just, tell me, give me an idea.
It's about the same price. Stick, Morton, it doesn't make it,
Okay,
they're
something
pretty
that-
comparable
Okay.
right now.
Some windows, doors, heating and cooling, right?
Completely insulated.
And that would be for Kevin's and Ernie's use, correct?
Ernie and Kevin are going to go in the new
That's
building.
what I favor is the EMA and EMS use the existing building.
Correct,
And
okay.
we would need to secure 2 stalls of it for the sheriff's office. I don't know that the other 3 would need to be climate controlled.
I don't
If
think
we
they
do
do.
the county car and the assessor's car, which I'm not saying the assessor's car is an absolute requirement of ours.
But I would like to see it all insulated, the whole building.
The sheriff's office would use it for, like, when they do searches in the cars and stuff, so I'm sure they'd appreciate a heated place to do that.
And they would probably need
They probably.
2 stalls?
No, you guys, I talked with Kevin yesterday, you guys got a lot of extra stuff that they're running out of room for.
And we definitely have to
It's
include
gotta
that.
go somewhere,
Mhm.
'cause it's stuff they can't throw away.
So do I get to pick which way it's gonna sit, or is that something that you
They
guys?
should sell, I would face it just like the other one.
I think you better start with talking to Kevin and see what his requirements are,
Well, where is
and then
Kevin?
talk to Ernie and see what his requirements are before you get a bid on the building.
And you're gonna have to think about walls. Yeah. Because it's gonna have to be, you can't be wide open.
Well, most underneath stuff can go in that building that Rochelle's got all the election stuff in right now, I mean, that would all fit in there, that's heated as well, but I don't know, I know
I think
whatever uses the heat, but.
whatever Kevin decides how many stalls he needs, I think there should be a block wall in between Kevin's stuff
Yep.
and the assessor stuff.
Kevin
Just
did mention
saying
that, you know.
that for security purposes, that, you know, whatever he uses those stalls for, is his own price. Whether he uses it.
Cause at our meeting down there, you guys talked about having the assessor's car parked back on the street again where it was for years. It kind of migrated into the ambulance garage over the years. And it just kind of took over, but it always used to park on the street. When I first started, it was parked on the street, that car.
I always thought it was in that garage right over here.
It was for a while.
For a while maybe, but
The white one always
but that's up to you guys to figure out where that's gonna be. All I want is two stalls on the end.
Well, I would say that would be a definite, if you have to have it inside, you have to have it inside. I mean, the car can sit outside, we could maybe put a plan B for that if we had to.
You could put that up at the quad center, at the Hawkeye. That'd be a good place for the assessors.
So, we wanna get some bids
I do.
and, see where we're at.
We'll put it back on again for the night.
Yeah.
What really needs to be ambulance garage discussion. I mean,
You're probably right.
garage can stay where it's at, it would be,
Just around county garage.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, then does Sandy need to go through that effort or somebody else?
Do we need a plan?
I'd be happy to help her out, get some bids.
Oh, yeah, I mean, how fast are the wheels of going here?
Well, they've been pretty slow, so.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
Matt
can
would,
make some calls.
Matt
okay?
Julius would get involved knowledgeable guy on what they need down there in the sheriff's office. He could work with Kevin and get a bid.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
the
it's
plan,
done.
Leroy's district, we could ask him to work with the sheriff and the assessor and try to get a drawing or plan.
Okay. If there's nothing else on that?
So this would be a discussion that would come back on the ninth.
Yep. Yep. Point EMS advisory board.
Should be in your packet.
Everybody wants to be on there, names on there. Got everybody's blessing to be on, right?
Yeah, they allowed me to use their name. We took the advice of just having these are the voting members, correct? Okay. Not that we can't have more people attend, but these are the ones that are allowed to vote.
Do we need to? If you or it's up to you. I said I would.
I think it's probably good up to us.
Yeah, well,
Right, and this is the group that would make the recommendation for language on a ballot.
And Jerry and Michael would be keeping you guys all informed about what's going on over there, okay? That would be your job.
okay. I'll be a little late tonight, so.
I'll motion to approve of that board.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and support, all those in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. I think, watch says 9 o'clock. Let's go to, our 9 o'clock.
It is good.
Approve ISG proceeding with development of countywide utility crossing agreements with drainage district facilities. Approved. All right, who's our,
I think you got a call.
Yes, I do remember. He was gonna be on, so I didn't progress today. Hi, Ivan, this is Osceola County Board of Supervisors.
Yeah,
Okay, we're ready to discuss the drainage, or crossing agreements of the drainage district facilities.
okay.
Here's
The board, Michelle, did you, share that map that?
Yeah, they have that packet that you sent to her shop, yep.
Okay, just in looking at the board, just looking at the map, from early on, a year plus ago, you know, the, route of the, Heartland Greenway, pipeline has shifted, and it only traverses the very small, area in the southeast corner of your county. However, in general, you're still potentially are going to want to have long-term a utility agreement. We have not gone in and verified if this is crossing any of the district facilities in your county, because we don't have any kind of a coordinate system for their basically route at this time. However, just in general, for any utilities in your county, crossing agreements so that anytime a power line, you get wind energy, rural water, any of those type of utilities, you would like to have a utility agreement that addresses those crossings, and you have a resolution on file as to how they have to get a permit in a sense to provide guidance as to minimum, burial depth and those type of things, and how repairs to any tile systems have to be taken care of. Since you do have the, Greenway, pipeline coming through, the Heartland Greenway pipeline, we are also, you know, that's triggering us that, you would also want to make sure that you have hazardous material aspects in this, utility agreement also covered in there. Because you will have greater separation distances for pipelines, and you will, want to, depending on the type of hazardous material, you may have special restrictions, in regard to, overall depth, and also as to, surface restoration that you're looking for. So, we know that other counties are moving forward and getting their utility agreements in place. It is good to have these in place in advance of actually, negotiations with the pipeline company, and therefore, we are recommending that, you move forward with this utility agreement. The example one that I sent you is based upon work that, IDEA did back in, with the DAPL pipeline coming across Iowa. I don't know of any specific changes that have been made, you know, since the DAPL pipeline to the carbon pipeline. I don't believe there's any specific changes that were made, but it provides a template for, building a utility agreement, in your county. So today, what we are recommending is, and again, this is an expense that, you need to, it should be an expense that is basically spread back to all, districts in your county, but that would be a decision as to the board as to how you want to take care of the expense of this. We do believe that, you know, you would be able to ask for reimbursement with the pipeline company, in establishing this resolution, but that may not happen, you know, for several months down the road before you would have that, opportunity to try to collect this back from, basically any district crossings. But, so today we are recommending that you authorize us, ISD, to proceed with, a, draft of the utility agreement, and we're also recommending that you, authorize, legal counsel to work with us to, make sure that, the legal aspects of the utility agreement are properly addressed.
Ivan, there's been some talk about POET joining forces. That would cover any additional pipeline in our county too, right? POET is the other ethanol plant, and, they've joined, the way I understand, they've joined forces too. It would cover that, and that probably would hit some drainage districts.
Yeah, there's, the POET, do you have more than one POET plant?
No.
Okay.
But the way I understand it, it's kind of gonna be a spur, if that's what you wanna call it.
That's correct. This would, utility agreement would cover, in a sense, all crossings of any district facilities in your county.
By any pipeline?
By any pipeline, they would be required to, by this resolution, they would be water, it could be, electrical, transmission, all those type of utilities that would affect crossings of your district facilities, would be basically covered under this resolution.
Okay, thank you. Ivan, is there any way to address non-district facilities? Private tile, road crossings, things like that? I understand the interest in the covering drainage districts, but especially if eminent domain gets used on a project, I guess I'd like to know that our private systems are looked out for as well.
Well, the board of supervisors obviously would not have any authority with the private tile system, those type of things. And in the past, in the hearing process, it's very, clearly, provided to the landowners that they need to, negotiate up front if they want something specific in regard to their private property. They have to negotiate that up front with the agreement, the easement agreement that the pipeline companies are, basically having to reach with them. I know eminent domains out there, but it's really, from the experience of DAPL, it was a very much a last resort situation of using the eminent domain. The pipeline company has to come back to the landowner more than once in trying to negotiate for the crossing across their property. We found with the DAPL pipeline that they hire multiple contractors in construction, and part of our IFG overall restoration inspection includes also the inspection for private tile crossings that are hit. Now, obviously, we don't have any known map to those private crossings, but our inspectors are in communication with the landowners as the pipeline's going through, and they are to report if they know of any utilities, private tile and stuff that they hit out there, so that we can try to track those, make sure they're being properly, repaired. So, nothing in regard to, a county-wide resolution for private tile, that I'm aware of.
Is there harm in saying this would be the standard even for private tile? I know it's not our position and know where all the private tile is and.
I know that the criteria that we utilized for district names was more stringent than, our district tile was more stringent than what the, pipeline company was using with private tile. They did just do a 2-foot separation was what they had to meet for private tile. And again, with the, district systems, what we tried to do is make sure that they are going to meet a minimum of 2 feet separation from a projected increased size of tile. So that the tile would be projected to the size needed for, and this will be something that we would be discussing with the board, but, what we used in the last, Boone and Story counties, with the DAPL pipeline, is they had to meet 2-foot separation from a inch drainage coefficient size. So we did have, built in for increased size in the future and the, minimum 2-foot separation from that increased size.
But you still have to have
So-
some sort of policy to cover the county right-of-ways, because we do have private tile in the right-of-ways and utilities and right-of-ways, and you're still gonna have to go through those things. So I mean, you still should have
Well-
something that covers, you know, the county property through those areas.
I didn't hear that real clear, but in general, yes. They have to reach agreements also with your, county engineer for crossing of the roads in your county, and that will include basically the, everything inside of that right of way.
I don't know if we have a policy that covers hazardous pipelines that run through the county right-of-ways, that's specific. So you'll get to make one out of that.
Okay, is there any other questions for Ivan, or is there anything else, Ivan?
No, that would be all that I had today.
This is authorized, sorry. This is authorized kind of final completion of, this is not approving it now, right?
That would be authorizing us to proceed in, drafting a countywide, resolution, and I'm working with legal counsel for review of the board, that is correct.
I guess if you would give consideration to and thought of that while you're drafting it, you know, what we discussed here while you're drafting it, I would make a motion to proceed with their
And approve
developing a countywide crossing agreement.
Okay. Have a motion to approve by Steve for proceeding. Support. And support. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now we need to approve legal counsel Brian Young to work with ISD on development. Have that motion. And support. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Is that it, Ivan?
Yes, until later,
Around
Rochelle,
Yep,
projecting what time did you think the DD 38 would be?
it's around 10.
Around 10. Okay.
Yep. Okay,
All right.
thanks, Evan.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll do our 9:15, approve county child care initiative funding request.
That would be me, and I do have a flyer I was gonna email, but I just have that out to you now. So, I am here representing the Osceola County Child Care Steering Committee, and as you remember, you are one of the partners who helped pay for the strategic plan for the steering committee work. So last August that we had the public meeting, to share the strategic plan and the findings of the survey, to the public and businesses. So one of our steering committee continues to meet and work on all the pieces for that plan. One of the steps was to create a fund to help support the ecosystem of childcare in Osceola County. We know we don't have a lot of at-home providers. We have one center that, is at capacity, there's wait lists, we don't have many options for parents. So this is one of the steps that we have in the steering committee's plan, was to create this fund. We looked into, options for starting it, but honestly, the Community Foundation of Osceola County is set up well and professionally managed to have this be a sub-fund created underneath the foundation. We've been with Des Moines Community Foundation since the Community Foundation of Osceola County, started 18, 17 years ago. There is a 1% admin fee that we would pay for that, but as you can see, these are the identified uses. This is about more than right beginning. This is about fundraising so that we could right beginning, is if there's a new center that can be created in Ashton, this is for countywide support of childcare. You know, I've talked to other entities in the state that have had specific targets for this, like trying to offset the, you know, the wages for some of the staff. You know, there's a lot of opportunities with this fund. I have talked to Child Care Referral about this, because they're the ones that hear directly from a lot of providers and what they need. I did talk to one of our bigger at-home providers, so this is kind of based on what our committee has discussed. So, my board has committed $5,000 to the fund to get us started. My hope is that our agreement can be signed, when our group meets in a couple weeks, to get the fund set up, so that we can start promoting it, through the Community Foundation. Des Moines, we have online donations, so we're able to, you know, easily, encourage people to donate. So, I am here asking if Osceola County would consider being one of the early supporters of the fund, so when we launch it, we can say, you know, these are the entities that are supporting this fund. So that is why I'm here.
Certainly interesting, I think it'd be good, and it's necessary. I guess I'd like to see how, some more documentation on how the fund will be managed, who has oversight.
I mean, that's the agreement, like, then, before you would commit to it. I mean, you know, our steering committee is working through the process. You know, the way we have the existing Ashton fund right now, you know, there's fund advisors. So it would be myself, Jamie Craig, Mitchell Ackerman, and Ashley Ackerman right now. We would look to add other advisors to it. But, you know, in Ashton, have a grant application similar to what we have for Community Foundation. You know, we're obviously going to try to fundraise and hit a certain amount before we consider it open. So this is really just a way to get it started. But we will be working on all those pieces. Like I said, my hope is that we get the agreement signed on August 10th, and we can start promoting it and launching it.
Do you have any questions for Stephanie? Was there a dollar amount you, or just that we?
I would love if you had some dollar amount that you'd be willing to put in for an initial contribution to the fund.
I could see maximum 5,000.
It's up to you. I'm not asking a certain dollar amount for us. You know, we have a special project line in our budget, so it was a good fit for CDC's budget. I would be happy with 5 if you wanted to give more than that as a initial contributor. I would obviously be happy with that too, but it's up to you. I really wanted to let you know this is part of the strategic plan, steps, and I hopefully will be promoting it soon and launching it.
I think you have a question.
How are you gonna raise more funds?
So we're getting 42% of the businesses that responded to the survey said they would be willing to donate towards the operation of child care center. So the plan is to go out and solicit funds from the public, from our businesses, from our communities. So
Have the cities and shit?
I have asked, Mitchell Ackerman is on our board.
You mentioned it at city
I've
council last
asked, he
night.
was gonna bring it up last night, you know, talk.
Was there any takers?
Didn't have on the agenda, so they were gonna discuss it at the next meeting.
I've asked everyone on our steering committee to see, you know, it's the same entities that all pay for the strategic plan cost. City, school, hospital, you. That is part of it, but we are going to be asking. So like I said, I think it's good to launch a fund and say these are the supporters of it.
Any questions?
I'd make a motion to donate 5,000.
Support that.
You have a motion to support this, $5,000, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you kindly.
We just want
Thank you.
We just want you happy, not happy.
Oh, no. I'm not used to asking for funds, but this is what we're gonna have to do for this, so.
All right, we move back up to award the bid for the gravel trailer. Is that you, Keith? Yes, we solicited bids for a pup trailer, typically run 3 pup trailers, 1 pup trailer for 2 maintainers. Within the budget for FY '23, and both quotes came in within the budgeted amount. The winning quote is substantially lower, about $8,000 lower than the number 2 bid, so we're very happy with it.
All right. Any more questions for Keith, or sounds good to me?
Me too.
Is that a motion for the low bid?
Yeah.
I have a motion and support for that low bid. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Approve resolution number 5, 2022-23, for participation in S4A grant application. Who's that? Is that you, Keith?
Because that you also, yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, that is me. Yes, so, sorry, I didn't realize the acronym got me there. So, this basically came out from the Iowa County Engineers Association and, the state DOT. There's various funding that's gonna be available, through the new, federal legislation, and it requires, updated, safety plans for communities. The DOT is offering to provide that service to rewrite and write new safety plans for all municipalities or all counties at no cost to the county. Doing so will allow us to be eligible to then compete for funding in the future. There is no obligation that we provide any of these safety improvements that are identified in the safety study, but it does give us the opportunity to get grant funding in the future.
All right, any more questions?
We have to approve before they, we have to approve.
Yes, they're looking for a motion from the various boards and counties that they're willing to enter into this program.
I'll make the motion.
Support. I have a motion and support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I do have down, I need roll call for that.
I'm sorry.
Resolution.
It is a resolution, yes.
Yes.
Mr. Schultz, Mr. Pinkley. Aye. Mr. Jones. Mr. Lanning.
Aye.
Mr. Ford. Aye. Mr. Elmer votes aye. Motion carried. Approved tax sales certificate. Evidently, we have somebody interested in property that has been paying taxes.
That'd be the 300 acres.
Come up before, right?
She's on vacation.
If they were the one.
History with this.
She brought it.
It was offered before.
And nobody took it the last time she had it, or was it 2-3 years ago?
He's developed the property next to it.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that someone wanted it just all written off, so maybe I'm not remembering it correctly.
The person that had the property right next to it on the map there with the acreage, wanted it, but then never followed through with it, decided they didn't want it, so it just stayed not paid on the tax rules, and then it came up again, this guy offered to do it, sent Becky a letter. I talked with Becky about it, and she was, her recommendation was to go ahead and do it, so.
What do they have, like a year to read?
Yep, they got a year to receive it.
All right, any more questions or comments? 6/22/23, fixing the date public hearing, seek approval, proposal of development of certain county-owned mills, date. In the 2003 Urban Renewal District 1 survey, economic emergency, Hunter Creek.
The date for that has already previously been set for the 26th, but it's confirmation of the time, so.
Well, we formally approved the date.
Oh, okay,
This is the approved date, yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah, suggested the 26th with the request of what time?
To me, this, I talked to Steph a little bit earlier, to me, this seems a little bit different than previous approaches. I don't remember having a development proposal packet. I was a little confused by that, but evidently legal counsel is just suggesting this first page that is indicated.
We can edit it, and we've got, it won't go in the paper till next Wednesday, so I'll make sure, I've got some information that I've provided prospects in the past. We'll make sure that, I can include the urban renewal document that talks about the economic development program in there, so we'll make sure all the pieces are ready for people that come in. But they have sent us that one pager in the past, and it's up to us to edit it if there's changes we want to make.
Any more questions?
I will be unavailable, be here on the 26th, probably call in. Is there a time that you guys would, likely the only item on that day's agenda, right? See what time works for everyone.
Guess we'll set a time. You'll be in a different time zone.
No, not that, Des Moines,
Okay.
I think it ends the same day.
Whatever time works.
Yeah, whatever works for us.
I think that would be in conjunction with the additional readings for the, yeah.
That's the county purpose
Yeah,
hearing.
that, yeah.
Pick a time, 9 o'clock.
Works.
Work for you, Jason? Make it work.
I make a motion on resolution 6 at 10 o'clock on the 26th.
10 o'clock?
Or sorry, 9 o'clock. It's over here.
We have a motion. Mr. Jones? Aye. Mr. Fuller? Aye. Mr. Schulte? Aye. Mr. Bassett?
Aye.
Mr. Hammond votes aye. Remember, approved Nyhard Company contract for Iowa 5098 actuarial services. Is this just a yearly renewal?
It is, the Nyhart, it's an annual report, and it has to do with the partial self-funding of the insurance. And then, it's the two,
Cost for this year,
um,
next year, and following.
yeah, let's see.
I make a motion to approve that agreement.
Have a motion, approved the non-contract, nonprofit contracts with Northwest Iowa Development, Right Beginnings, and Picasso. Do them separately or at once, or don't you wanna do it all?
Do them all at once, I make the motion.
Motion for all,
Can we do that?
She did make a note to, she requested separate.
separately,
Yeah,
all right?
yeah, it's okay.
I'll do the first one. Motion, I
Got a motion
Not Northwest.
for Northwest Iowa Development, and support, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carried.
I'll make the motion right beginning.
Motion and support, Right Beginnings, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
I'll make a motion on CASA.
Motion on CASA. Support. And support, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Excuse me, what's CASA stand for?
I looked it up here. We get center for the, it's like center for the youth and sexual assault.
Florida appointments.
They got acronyms, because it doesn't sound pretty saying it out loud.
No,
Just wanted to give you a little test there.
Yeah.
We failed.
Yeah, obviously.
like, I literally looked at it yesterday, and I said,
All right, approved homestead applications.
Their applications.
The applications that are coming into this one here.
sure, just line up now.
Yep. I think there's, one was a removal because it switched to a different property.
We don't have any here.
No. No.
Thank you.
new coaches. Okay. Did you get that question? Okay, I did, for this. Lauren. He was the new coaches, I think, because these are all new head coaches. I think that was just a people.
Everybody had a chance to look at those.
There's four, sure.
Good
And they don't,
applications.
I don't think they have.
Make a motion.
I don't think.
Motion to approve the homestead applications.
Peter.
And support. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Roof payment to Ski Bow window and door.
All the broken handles, all the cracked windows, everything's
I've been told everything has been repaired that needs to be repaired, yeah. And there's actually two, here. One was, they had sent one to us from July, or June, it looked like, but we never received it, so they ended up sending one, via email. So there's two payments, one for $32,542.56, and the other one was at $14. Yep, $14,362, yep. For both of those payments.
I would make a motion to pay those.
So have a motion and support, pay Ski Bow window and door. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Discuss courthouse roof. Dan McDonald reached out to me, talked about, getting paid. His comment was the contract was with the county. He talked with Bill, Pearson. His comment was all we need is an itemized list. Talked with Dan again, called him back. He was a little reluctant at first, but I said, I think this is the only way it's gonna happen. I appreciate you coming up with something, so this is what he came up with. I think Rochelle forwarded this to the insurance company. I don't know if you've heard anything about it or not.
I've not heard anything about that.
So this is where we're at with this. If there's any questions I can answer.
I like this, I don't know, guys, we don't.
He, for some reason, he didn't want to deal with the insurance company. He said, I'll send it to you and you do what you want with it. So that's what I think about it. Good. We'll see. Anything else? We'll see what happens, yeah. Really ain't nothing to prove, I think it's just for your information. Certified tax bills.
It's all correct, right?
It is, it's been triple checked.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion to certify those tax bills.
I'll support.
Support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are down.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing that for the last week and a half. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. And then everybody needs to sign. Don't mind me signing.
electric, what was this for, this social electric?
That was the house out here,
Oh, okay.
That's the ship.
right?
And we found that both places, Henry, it says, Florida Wireless Service, and then fleet,
I think
fleet
the bottom,
removed from service.
the bottom
Okay.
one that's
Okay.
highlighted there.
Make a motion on the claims.
I have a motion on balance of the claims. And support, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. We have some visitors, I don't know, they're not on the agenda, so you guys feel.
I'm gonna go pee.
I didn't hear them, because I was there and I didn't have the numbers, so. Okay, now. Patrick, could we get a couple of the numbers that we missed for some of the amounts for that truck trailer? What the bid was for that?
I'm gonna look from. We had two from, hold on, let me find it.
Today was my number.
I'm separating them individually here. Okay. Two bids, one was from Crysteel, Crysteel, truck equipment. And that would be $54,197. And the other quote was from NTEC, which is Northern Truck Equipment Corp.
Say that again,
NTEC, just NTEC, which is Northern Truck Equipment Corp. And it looks like that one came in at $62,971. $971, yeah.
And then the, window ones too, I missed the amount.
Oh, sure, yeah. The payments approved for the windows, $32,542.36.
And then there was a second one for
Yep.
14.
$14,303.62.
Thank you.
Yep.
I don't catch the number right away, and I'm trying to remember. and
Yeah.
forget the rest of it. Yep. Yep. Wish that's what I had. We'll go with that. I'm sure Chris will want to read this, go, oh my gosh, they got that four steps wrong. There are, and that's the people that find stuff when you do the mistake, that's when they let you know. I have 100 things right.
I know.
Your check and check and check.
We waited this long.
Which was it, Jerry?
Elizabeth, report on committee reports, anybody got anything?
Nope.
Public health meeting, our board of health meeting last week, they did take action to approve the salary change for environmental health, so it's at both levels, and an adjustment to the clinic charges. One thing we talked about was Best Care for Better Babies, that they actually use county allocation dollars to cover some of those expenses, because they will no longer
We had extra money to amend our budget, so it shouldn't have came from us up at the middle.
They indicated that there wasn't a way to apply
Oh, yeah.
unused dollars.
Yeah, if you run out of your budget money, and we've done it for multiple Medicare programs, and we've done it for her before too, you make an amendment for what you're over, and if we've got money, which we do, we cover that extra cost. We just amend the budget. So I don't know why we'd be spending any of our own money on that. We'd have to maybe give a Pam
She indicated they requested $48,470 for this year, and they received, or were awarded $43,000.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Any other discussion? I'm sure.
I did meet with the hospital about the ambulance, and they are stepping up to the pump pretty good. So,
That'll be on the ninth.
yeah, I think that's when Ben's coming. He's got a plan set up, like a 3-phase plan. It's looking pretty good. It's a lot better than it was. At least we can see a light at the end of the tunnel for the ambulance.
You will be at that meeting tonight too?
Yeah.
I'll be a little late, so.
And I think he's gonna bring that up at that meeting tonight too.
Okay.
It's just a basic place to start.
All right, I don't know our visitors, we really were on the agenda, but.
I just wanted to kind of address the MDN development, north of my existing property in Enterprise Park. My understanding, he's putting in his own road, that kind of thing. Wondering, what kind of stipulations we have on road material, that kind of thing. My concern is I didn't want to have a mud road from the cul-de-sac where I'm at all the way to Highway 9. Because they throw something together quick. I'd like to see some kind of stipulation there. I just got some concerns with it being an adjacent landowner. That, some of that stuff is maybe specified.
I don't know for sure, but what I'm thinking he's looking at is crushed concrete. And then I think he's going concrete over top of that waterway with regular tile.
Sure.
It's a pretty good sized tile, because I looked at the highway to see what the highway had.
Right.
I know him and, I don't know if it was Peter, him and Mark were out there looking at it.
Sure. I know I've seen little activity out there, and I wasn't sure what's happened so far.
One of those two, I think, have been out there, but I know one of them has been.
I just didn't want to, there's a lot of concrete there now, and I don't want to come in and gravel in on that concrete.
But,
I know there's been some discussion about whether he's grinding or burning his waste material. I know he's stated that he was gonna buy some, in essence, some burn boxes to heat the building, that kind of thing. Is that something that he's committed to, or if that's just,
that's the last I heard, that he's gonna do that.
That was my other concern, was I didn't want to have, you see a farmer take down a grove of trees and it sits there and smolders for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, we just keep throwing more trees on it, it never ends. So I don't know what rights I have in this, he can do what he can do out there, but at the same time, I don't want it to be detrimental to myself or other people that have previously invested out there.
No, that's the last I heard, is that he is gonna heat his building with that. But don't hold me to that, because I don't know that for sure.
Third one is, my understanding, there's about 17 acres there, and he's gonna end up with all of it.
Yeah.
What kind of taxable value is he proposing building it there?
Minimum assessment, I think, is 700.
We really shouldn't be engaging in discussion on this item. I'm not trying to minimize
No, I
this,
understand.
I want you to express your concerns, but we
My
shouldn't be
concern was, I know there's been other projects that have been shut down out there because they didn't meet the assessed value
value requirements to obtain the, say the original 2-acre lots that were proposed. If we're talking 17 acres, I mean, he should be looking at $1 million plus in taxable value from the calculations that I've done with. I'm just questioning if the county's getting the value back out of that land if he's getting all 17 acres.
Is it something you guys wanna put on the agenda for next month and have Stephanie address a little more of it, or not? Just ask.
I'd like to say something about it. Been 13 years since the urban renewal plan of sewer. Put the front out of business. There's no sewer to the front. It was in the plan. And, county law firm wrote me a letter and said, how do you like hooking into the Sibley sewer? You can't afford it. So it's controlled by Sibley, the county industrial park. Do you think that's right? It's a county project through the REC, through a grant. So that frontage is dead. What I'm saying about it, it's pretty disappointing. And that's fine. We can keep it a farm. All that property, if Sibley was there, would be growing. That corner is the busiest intersection in the county. The Quick Start should have been there. A truck stop in John Deere should have been there. But that's beside the point. It's in the past. But it continues to go on and on.
I guess, George, what are you suggesting, or?
Well, have you dug into anything about why they never finished putting sewers in the urban renewable plan? 2008, I got a copy, I gave it to several people. How come economic development don't work on that? That's what makes projects work for everybody. They made everybody put in their own. First of all, I still have the original abstract of the whole property. So I gotta come here and correct everybody's errors? You wanna have a project and make errors. No wonder we got a mess. I'm not blaming anybody personal here. It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, most of the stuff predates my participation on the board, and it sounds like something more might have been Stephanie would deal with. As far as what's been going out there, or how she's chosen to promote it, so that's more Stephanie's area of expertise, I guess, than it is the board's.
But it seemed like everything Sibley had pushed, that they had rights for this out there, through the courthouse. That's how it appears to me. So who really runs this county? Just people run this county, or is this the American Bar Association? Looks like the lawmakers. Are they the law? I don't read it in the Constitution, the American Bar Association's in there. It's we the people. We gotta start thinking right. Doing stuff right. These people give me a bad legal advice. Thank you.
Thanks, George.
Anything else?
I see we got a letter here from Dallas County requesting an elected official to attend, program for honoring Bill Wagner in the Iowa architectural industry. Or if the elected official doesn't want to go, we're asking that one of our county historical preservation
Anybody wanna go or pass it on to Beth, or?
See if you don't like it, I don't want to.
I think Jason will be gone.
Back then. Probably have catching up to do.
All right, so, I don't know. Do we give it to Beth, or do we give it to Beth, or
That's what I can,
Dan, or
that's what I can.
who's here?
I'm gonna stop and give it to Mike.
Okay. That'd be great. Anybody else got anything else?
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. And support, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Got drainage next.
Close enough.
You wanna call in?
All over at 10 o'clock, drainage district number 38 meeting. Roll call. Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Schulte? Here. Mr. Van Hoen? Here. Mr. Moore? Here. Commissioner Cummers is here.
Drainage just gets everybody to clear the room.
Approve the July 26, 2022 agenda.
I'll make a motion. Support.
Have a motion and support.
I suppose we should wait for her to catch up.
Thank you. Motion was Ed,
Mike.
Mike,
I have a motion and support to approve that agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. May 10th, 2022 minutes.
You can, is he gonna be on there somewhere?
keep going.
Where are the minutes from that meeting?
Is that in there? Or has she got the?
This is Ivan.
Hi, Ivan, it's Chancellor of the Board of Supervisors again, if you give us just a minute, we'll be ready for you, okay?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion to approve those minutes.
Okay.
I'll support that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Ivan's up.
Ivan, you're up.
Okay, what we are doing here is finishing up on actions needed so that we can move forward with the Drainage District 38 annexation. And since you are, by the annexation, which will include lands into O'Brien County, we want to make sure that you are doing everything completely in regard to the Code of Iowa. And in the code on annexation, they always refer to a resolution of necessity for annexation. And since you were going to be dealing with O'Brien County, we thought this would be good to make sure that we have legal counsel prepare a resolution of necessity for annexation. And that will also be used as a means of sending notification to O'Brien County that you're proceeding with this annexation and which will make it a joint district. So we just wanted a motion to direct legal counsel to draw up a resolution of necessity for annexation on Drainage District 38.
I'll make that motion to have Brian Young draw
Have a motion, do I have support?
support.
Have a motion and support to draw up the resolution necessary for preparation of the annexation report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Anything else, Ivan?
No, that would be all I have today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ivan.
You're welcome. Oh, hey, just to mention, Spencer is meeting with, can't think of her name, Joint DD3,
Jordan?
Delahaye?
Oh, is it Elaine?
Delahaye in regard to the, proposed wetland up there. And so we have, the field representative from IDALS, will be meeting, with him also with Delahaye. So they will be going over the wetland, the aspects of easements that would be involved with the wetland. And obviously, Delahaye had questions in regard to the cost figures used, and Spencer will be reviewing all that with him today.
Good.
Ivan, what made that cost go up so much?
Yeah, truly the cost, came from spring bids on reinforced concrete pipe, projects, that basically the reinforced concrete pipe, just in its own material cost, was going up in the neighborhood of 50%. And so overall, the overall project cost, it's not a increase in scope of the actual improvement project. It is actually an increase of inflationary costs of the materials being utilized.
Okay, I've had lots of questions about that.
Yep. From a year ago, basically, you're looking, a year ago in the preliminary, at that time, we had also only estimated a half-inch drainage coefficient, and discussion of the landowners and the, field, review for that, lake area on Delahaye. Anything that was draining into the subwatershed, draining into that lake area, we went to a 3/4 inch coefficient for that lake area, because, if you were gonna try to get, just your normal rain events out of there in a 48-hour period with that amount of subwatershed draining into it, we had to go up to get the water out of there in a 48-hour period. So, the capacity from the very preliminary, when we just brought the discussion up, with the informational meeting back last August, I believe it was, that cost, and then we had updated the cost when we met with Delahaye, with the wetland projections in there, and the cost savings between, doing it without the wetland or detention basin wetland, and doing it with the detention basin wetland. And from that spring, meeting with Delahaye, it's about another 25% increase just from the change in material costs, from last fall to this spring, as to what we're seeing